True. And that's the thing. I think what I understood about me is that, and that's what my mentor taught me. He taught me that my he taught me that menteur. He taught me that I am I'm that person who is able to bring people together. He taught me that. And at that time I didn't believe it myself. I was, I want to do hip hop, I want to be a rapper, da 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 da. And he was like, you way more than a rapper. You were born in Congo. You lived in Ivory Coast, in Kinshasa, in Abidjan. You lived in Bandaka. You lived in New York. You lived in Paris. You lived in Brussels. You lived in Waterloo. You lived in London. You lived here and there. You've been in China when you were a kid. You've been there. You are so much more than what you are trying to be. And he taught me this. He taught me to look 360, and he saw something in me that I didn't see myself at that time. And that's why my first album was so successful, because on my first album he prevented me from doing the easy stuff that I wanted to do. Because I remember very well that amazing. I remember very well when we listened to and you know, we didn't have budget. I remember very well that when I started doing my album, and my mentors, he sat after the first 2 days of studio. We sit down in the living room. He put his free joints that he just rolled. He liked the first one, and he said, "Okay, play me what you recorded today." We start recording. We start playing the song, and then even after like 30 seconds, he just stops the tape, which to me was super disrespectful. How are you closing you cutting my song before the end? And he's like, this is a pile of shit. That's all you had? And I'm like, so I play another track, and he's like, oh, no, cut that. What? Next day, I told this story before, but for those of you who don't know this story, next day I come back from the studio. He's here with his joints again, play music. He's here, he's like, cut that. What kind of shit is this? I play another 2 songs. He's like, wait a minute. You did 8,000 kilometers to do this shit? What's wrong with you? Fuck. And me, I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with this Chinese guy? My mentor is half Chinese, half French Guiana. And at that point, after 3 days of this bad treatment, I'm starting to have tears in my eyes. And I'm like, hey, I don't understand why you brought me here if you don't like my music. I'm a genius. Everybody say that I'm good. Everybody say that I'm the best beat maker, that I also rap great, blah, 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 blah. And so the next day, I'm not animated at all. I'm just down. And I'm living in his house in South America. I just followed him because he told me leaders don't follow people, follow me. So I just go, and yeah, the first day I'm down, and I'm like, yeah, fuck this shit. Like, I want to go back to Paris. Like, I have nothing to do here. We are in 97. This guy is here. He makes me come all the way to here to criticize my art, and I'm not having it. So I want to go back home. And so I'm getting ready, but I'm pissed. Like, he's like, no, you're not going to the studio today. I'm like, oh, so what am I supposed to do? He's like, come. And he takes me to a part of the house that I didn't know. It was a door that was always closed. He opens the door, and there's an office with all walls are full of CDs. And he's here, start taking CDs. He's like, take some CDs. Look, some of those relics of the past. He takes some CDs. CDs. Some kids don't even know what this is. The pleasure of creating this. Anyway, he takes some CDs and he tells me, okay, he does a selection and he brings me 20 CDs and he says, you're gonna just listen to this music. That's your mission for today. And me, I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with this guy? You think I came here? You think I came all the way here to listen to music from other people? I came here to do my music. And he's like, nah, what you need is to listen to some music. So in the music there was some Gal Costa, famous Brazilian singers, Stevie Wonder, Music Aquarium, I think. No, Music Aquarium. I don't forget the name of this album, but it has to do with aquariums. It even inspired the song to me. Carlinhos Brown, Brazilian, Olodum, Brazilian, Wyclef's album, some jazz, some R&B, some Afro beats from Nigeria, a little bit of everything. And I'm like, fuck this, I have to go back to Paris. I take the album of Gal Costa and I play a song. I cannot play the song for copyright, but let me remember the name of that song. So Gal Costa is one of the most famous voices of Brazil, and I think the album that I heard, I don't even know what album it was, but I know that's the song that I heard until today is one of my favorite songs. Let me see if I remember the cover. She had so many albums. She's been around for so many years. I think it was the album from. Let me see if there's a best of. Maybe. Let me check if she has. Let me see on her. The song was. I have no idea. Revisited. Let me see if I need a best of. A best of. Let me go in her discography. I need to find a best of her, and I can find my song. Do it. Become boss. Oh my god, I'm not gonna find it. I have to go to my playlist. I have a playlist where I have this song. Wait, what's the name of my playlist? Is it the Make Love playlist? I got a playlist called Smooth. Of course, I'm not gonna find it now. Anyway, let me shorten my story. She plays me. So I play this one. I play Music Aquarium from Stevie Wonder. I play Gal Costa. I play that album, and then I play Carlinhos Brown. Then I play Olodum. Then I play some Grover Washington. Then there was some what's their name? After Seven, the group of Babyface and his brothers, the Edmond brothers. There was some Ashley brothers. There was some Shannon. He went all over, and I actually spent my whole day loving the music, and I'm traveling with the music. So at the end of this of my listening session, he comes back home, and he says nothing. And the next day, I go to the studio, and when I come back from the studio, you know, as always, we had our ritual. He's here. Start putting his joints, da 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 da. When his joints are ready, he's like, okay, play the music. And this time, I'm not excited. I'm super confident, and I play this.
5, 4, 3, 2,
And I look at him like this.
1, 0, ignition, liftoff.
And he looks at me like this. But he doesn't cut my music for the first time. And me, I'm looking at him like this.
I'ma call you in the morning. I'ma call you in the evening. Talk about.
And this song was my first ever banging hit. That song, when it came out, it's a song that destroyed everything. It was the song. Telephone came out, and until today, when they played it in the song, people think it's a song that just came out. And I learned from that. And I call this a failure and a victory at the same time, because I spent the first week trying to show this guy what I was about, and that person showed me the way to become who I am today. And I mean, I'm forever thankful to him. I had him on the phone last week, and he told me the things he tells me till today. We destroyed Paris with that song. He still tells me the same thing. I was like, yeah, look at you now, huh? You're rich now, so you don't work anymore. You don't go, you don't search, huh? You do easy things now. Like, I'm a businessman, Dad. And he's like, nah. That's not how I trained you. That's not how I raised you, son. And I love him to death. Like, without him, I would have tried to pursue something that everybody else was doing. He made me become, through that episode of failure and victory, he made me understand the true victory of who I could become, I could be. And that's what I try to do this with all the artists that I work with. Try to push them out of their comfort zone on what I knew they could do, not what I wanted for them or to force them to be, but what they could be.